Welcome to episode 72 of the Analog Assault Podcast. This week, we're singing the song of a new anthem during this year's Solstice. Alright, let's go then.
You're listening to Analog Assault, a video game podcast by Mule Gaming.
Alright guys, how you guys doing this week? It's Just
I feel pretty good. I've had a fantastic week since last time we talked. So.
Oh yeah? Anything new?
Yeah. Well, I kicked Dirty Bomb's ass in the 1v1, so I think that's pretty good. But I'll leave it at that. We don't have to get into too much detail. I know he's still crying about it.
You can't really see this because we're not streaming, but my eyebrow is currently raised.
Yeah. I can see you just fine. I can see the tears running down your face, but it's okay.
Oh, let me point it out to you real quick here. See that one?
Yeah, I know. I see it. It's so great.
Yeah. Let's not forget, who schooled who in the very last match because they decided to be a troll. Oh my god, what's this guy?
Yeah, I just
beat you like 15-9.
That last match didn't matter. I was straight up just jacking around trying to hit you with trash cannon the entire time.
Yeah, it seemed like you were trying to do a whole lot more than just that. Mr. fucking Recluse or whatever the deuce sniper rifle that is.
Alright, yeah, so
anywho's, the redemptioning will be sometime in the fall, sometime after Shadowkeep launches. Not right away, but enough time to the point where we've become comfortable with Shadowkeep and gotten new weapons and armor and such. And
the final showdown.
So that it's fair.
It's fair.
Hear this, right? So that it's fair. That's what he's going at.
I mean, they're going to have new maps, I assume, too, and I kind of don't want to go into that blind.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had some fun last week. For those of you who don't know, we did a 1v1 versus Underdog and our friend Dirty Bombs here.
Because Underdog is a whiny bitch and can't handle getting his ass handed to him the first time.
Yeah, so last year we had a 1v1 and Dirty came out on top pretty substantially. So this year they decided to pick up the grudge match, and this year Dog was the victor.
So the grudge will continue.
Yeah, so now you're 1-1. We're gonna have to see where it goes from there.
Exactly.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm excited to do it again, and it has encouraged me to take on more competitors, and I extend that out to even Lupo. It's here with us this time around. If he would like a chance to duke it out with the devil. So.
Oh boy, you're stepping into uncharted territory, my friend.
I am. I'm maybe getting a little too big for my britches with that.
He's a sleeper over there, that Lupo. Let me tell you what.
So I don't talk.
But I though it has been fun. That stream was fantastic. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. I hope we get to do more things like that, even if it's just not just Destiny. Maybe it's more things. Maybe it's an Anthem thing of races of sorts. Maybe we bring something like that back.
Maybe another speed race. Maybe a Cataclysm race.
Cataclysm race. Yeah, I'd be so down for that.
That might be fun. I'll have to see what the other guys up to. Well, that's a lot of stuff that happened last week. This week, first of all, we've got a new thing that we've been doing, and we don't have any this week, but now we have a phone number that you guys can leave us questions, comments, death threats, all the shenanigans.
Creepy breathing.
So, yeah, there's that. And then also, another thing, we're doing an Apex giveaway, and no?
I'm fairly certain it's already been...
It's done.
Oh.
It's done.
Okay.
We just have to let the winner
We just
know
forgot to put out fix the show notes. My bad.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun with this one. Alright.
Yeah, we sure are.
So there's that.
We just kind of fly by the seat of our pants.
Anywho, what have you guys been up to this week since the whole showdown?
Honestly, not much. I haven't really felt the massive desire to game a whole lot, which is kind of weird because I feel a little bored of the games right now. Because like Solstice of Heroes or Heroes of Solstice, whatever the heck it is going on in Destiny right now, and I don't want to grind that armor right now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the only other aspects of my playing is leveling my hunter to 750. And a lot of that is based in still the Dreaming City, where you need other people to play, and everyone's currently grinding out Solstice armor, so no one's in the Dreaming City. So
yeah.
I'm like, I guess I'm not gonna play right now. So instead, I've been drawing a lot. I hop back into Anthem for a wee bit.
Yeah,
Just
a wee bit.
Just a wee bit.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. It was really just to see how it feels. So, that was my week.
Yeah.
Lupo, what about you? And thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, man. So it's a little bit of the same thing. You know, we've been doing a lot of Destiny. So Destiny pretty much consumed my life from, you know, more or less last Tuesday at Reset till Tuesday when the Anthem update came out. So the Anthem update now has the Cataclysm. This is content we've been waiting for since May, give or take. So, you know, it's 3 or so months behind schedule.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, I tried a little bit in the PTS about a month ago on PC, and that was solo. That was one of the most miserable experiences that I've had in Anthem my entire time being
imagine.
there. But playing this with a group, it really gives you that incentive to want to push the content further again. You know, you go in there, they give you measurable tasks to say, this is what you can earn. This is the path to how to earn those things. And go. You know, here's all of the things that you can do. And week by week, it's actually going to get more advanced. So, like this week, there's 3 little events inside the Cataclysm, and then you can use those to manipulate your score to get onto the leaderboards. And then week by week, we're going to have more events per thing. So they're going to add another event every single week, like inside the Cataclysm itself. So, you know, next week we'll have 4 events, and the following week we'll have 5, up until the point at the end where we have 7. So that's been super fun. But besides that, you know, you and I, we played some Warframe on Friday last week.
Oh yeah.
They've got a really fun event.
Wave.
I didn't do the event yet. That's for me this week. They have like a Super Soaker event, which is kind of fun looking.
Yeah. So I got into that. It's interesting. Basically, they took one of the existing weapons and modified it so that basically it looks like a Super Soaker. It used to be an acid spitter, so now it just shoots water and doesn't do like the dot damage. But you don't have any of your abilities, your frame abilities, and you only have 100 health. Now, passives on each frame definitely seem to be active. So I was running around as Neja just to get the extra speed.
Yep.
And his natural extra speed definitely seemed to be effective. I tried some other ones, like I think I tried one of the heavier armored ones, and I seemed like I took a little less damage, but I just couldn't move around the map. And the enemies are freaking crack shots, and that acid spitter is it's like a Super Soaker. You can't aim it. It's gonna shoot wherever it wants to. Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to taking care of that this week. But like you said before, Nightwave, you know, is like the seasonal content that they have in Warframe. The new episode launched today, so that's the 3rd episode of the third episode of the 2nd season of Nightwave that started today. But last week we actually did mention the Shadowkeep expansion for Destiny 2 got delayed, so that's actually going to get pushed out until October 1st from September 17th. So. I think that's a good and bad thing on you know, a couple fronts. Bad in the sense that I really want to play it now. Good in the sense that we have a little bit more time. They actually give us 3 more weeks to get through some of the triumphs and season ending things that we're looking forward to completing.
Borderlands.
And not launching in the same window as Borderlands, Gears 5, and all of those other games in that same window. So that's been a blessing in disguise, I'd say. And they're gonna put out another blog post, I think this week, about like what they've learned over the last 6 months of Shadowkeep. You know, Destiny 2 and the seasonal content, and how that's gonna drive the post Activision Bungie experience moving forward. And I think that's gonna be really interesting to see.
and what's great about that is Luke Smith actually tweeted about it. He's been working on what's been called, I think Division actually did it. It's called the State of the Game kind of thing. He's going to be doing that. He said it's like 4,000 plus words right now, and he's going to send out part 1 to us soon, and then next week we get part 2 of this. So it's kind of like taking the past and also then looking forward is going to be part 2. So I'm excited to see what that is and really kind of know what direction they want to go, because if you taking a look at the This Week at Bungie, like we were talking about for the recording of this, is that the mod system, there's tons and tons of mods coming. So if that's the case, if they're adding this many more mods and they're applying it to different things, what else is coming? What else is more?
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of ways they can go with Armor 2.0.
I did see on the Twitters, I don't know if you guys like Pyro Gaming or whatever it is, I don't know if that's a reliable source or not, but he quote unquote has inside sources air quotes that say that new weapons, air quotes, are coming.
Well, and I think that's something that Destiny has to do in order to keep itself, going. Because if you were to take the same weapons,
well, I mean, they're running out of weapons. In all honesty, they keep bringing back old exotics, and
but
eventually
does that
they're gonna
mean
run
does
dry
that
on
mean
stash.
new weapons, like new weapons comparatively to what we have right now, or just new types of weapons, like
new archetype, or maybe
yeah?
a new
So like in the
archetype.
past, like large expansions had new weapon types. Like we got bows in Forsaken, we got swords in Taken King. So is this going to be another transformative experience as some of the other things we've had in the past? And that's pretty exciting to think about. Like, I'm not going to sit here and blatantly speculate about those types of things, but you never know.
What could
what
they
would
add?
Destiny need?
I
What
don't
would
think
they add?
I don't think they really need anything. It's really tough. Like, I know when they were showcasing Izanagi's Burden, they were talking that it was maybe a railgun or something like that. So that's possibly something, but I don't think you need heavy weapons. I don't.
There's a lot of heavy weapons.
I would say the one thing that would add some flavor to Destiny right now is dual wielding. Like
That'd be cool.
that's one of the.
Oh, but they do have the new
Going
executions.
old fashioned.
Yeah,
So
I mean that's true. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that could be in
Yeah.
lieu of brand new archetypes. I mean, I'm fine with seeing just new weapons in the archetypes, but I mean, to relive the fun of just
Discovery.
Yeah.
just owning someone and you did in Reach back in the day, but in Destiny and in Shadowkeep, I'm gonna rip him apart.
He's revving his engine over there. But it's something that kind of actually goes with what y'all were saying, was this new hand cannon that got teased in the Vidoc, where it was like a sniper hand cannon. Now, I'm all for no more hand cannons, no more exotic hand
Mister,
cannons.
I
I
can't
think we
shoot
have
a hand
plenty.
cannon.
I think we have enough. Shut your filthy mouth.
Hand cannons next time, bull.
But whatever.
I'll make your
But
face.
if that gun does what they said it could do, like set you on fire as you're shooting it, that to me seems like a Borderlands gun.
Yeah.
I'm okay with guns like that. I think that would be
Shoots
awesome.
the wielder, or sets the wielder on fire, or
The more you shoot it, the more it sets you ablaze. So almost think of it like Touch of Malice. Instead of it being infliction on the last bullet, it's continuous fire. So if it has 6 shots that you're shooting, on shot 3 of the magazine, you're probably on fire.
Interesting.
And you're taking damage. So that's a speculation of what it could be. The person said that they're testing it. They don't really know kind of what they want to do with it. But, I mean, there's that. There's the heavy bow. I think Destiny has got a direction they want to go internally, and I think they're going to nail it.
Ready for this?
And I hope they do.
Crossbows.
Lay it on us. Crossbows.
Okay. Actual arbalests, not just a slug thrower, which is still a fantastic weapon. I should have used that on your ass. God damn it. You even think about it.
I wondered. Well, of course, we didn't allow exotics, so that couldn't have happened.
True.
So
Well, we
maybe
maybe
next
allowed
time.
the exotics in the final match, but as long as they weren't tracking. But either way, getting off topic.
If you
to
if you could make, go ahead.
To reel it back into what we were talking about before, I've also been playing a lot of Destiny this week, and I don't feel it's as grindy as it was last year. Like the Solstice event.
Other than those 100 kills,
Yeah.
those
Which
100 mini boss kills.
We just found out today that they fixed that, so now it's 50 boss kills instead of 100. So
That's still bad.
it's still bad, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be Destiny without
There's
a
a
grind.
change. There's another change to it though, and it's on there. The boss kill at the end counts for 5.
Oh, okay.
those kills.
So if you just do 10 arenas, you're done.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to do way less than 10 anyway because you're going to kill... If you're going in there hardcore and you're trying to get the mini bosses, then you're going to get probably 5 or 6
yeah,
per. So there's 10 right there in one full round. That's 5 rounds. Yeah, okay. I'm a little more interested in doing my other armor now because that was the one thing I was like, I want to get all of them done just to have them done. I really don't care for the Sparrow. The ship was nice last year, but the Sparrow was just like, eh. And then I was like, maybe I won't on the other 2 armors. But now that they've changed that, that is a huge benefit. I still feel glad that I actually did the 100 mini bosses, and I did it legit.
Since
A bit of a masochist over here.
that sounds like a shot
Yeah, a
fired
little
at
bit.
somebody
Maybe.
in the room here.
Maybe not.
But I think that's a positive change that's coming because that does encourage me to do it. I think it's going to encourage other people to do it too.
Agreed.
They got to
So
do
that-
something to pull me away from Anthem right now.
Exactly. But to close out what I've been playing for the last week, Apex, and I'll be the one dedicated Apex fool here because Mule is not with us because of some things going on.
Yeah.
Dude, Apex is really, really good right now. Like, I was hesitant to really like get full in on the bandwagon, but they really changed enough. The gunplay feels really, really good. It's super duper fast, and I think it's because that learning curve is there, that like you're not used to how fast it could be, that you're afraid to push at times. But once you get into that mode and you're pushing and you're looting and you're scooting, as Mule would say, it's a fun experience, man. And me, Mule, and our friend Sploom, we played on Monday night, got a couple of wins, it was like momentum.
Sploom
Like,
can get vocal. I hadn't been around him too much, but boy, he got excited a few times. I was sitting there and definitely maybe jumped a couple times.
But that's what I've been playing. Like, you get to that point where you're looking at your daily and weekly activities. Like, what can I do to progress my battle pass? What do I want to get? These skins are cool. And next week, we get a solos only event. It's something that the community's been really looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah.
And on the 13th of August, we get that solo Apex experience. And I'm not about that, and I'm excited. Playing with randos has just been trying at best, and
I'm gonna have to jump in there with you because I've been thinking about trying to get back. I need to work on it. I enjoy the game. I'm just not up to snuff quite yet.
And that's where I was, and then you just get in it. You do it all the time because if you're playing a game like when your friends want to play, it becomes difficult to progress because you're only progressing based on what they do. If you are even if you're playing at randoms, you're seeing what other people are doing, even if they're doing the wrong thing, and it leads you to a new level of progression as opposed to just playing with the same people all the time.
I mean, I played it the other day with Mule, and we got a win in one of our first 2 matches. I think it's because of Mule. I know I did jack crap.
It's all
but,
Mule.
His backpack was underdog sized, but it is something that interests me, and I do want to be able to be better at it than what I am at it, and I think I'm going to take my PvP focus that I've had in Destiny and try to apply it to Apex. We'll see how that goes, if I stick with that or not, because I know I want to be better at it, but I don't know if I'm going to stick with it as I did with Destiny.
I mean, I guess I'm the only one left who hasn't really given their week, but I mean, I've been basically playing the same thing everyone else has. We're going to be talking about the majority of what I've been playing. So I guess we'll just get right into it. So this week on Tuesday, Anthem surprised us. Well, sort of surprised us, I'd say. We kind of knew it was coming, but we weren't sure. But the Cataclysm dropped. Finally.
Yes. Finally.
Kind of tell us about it. I think Lupo should.
Lupo, yeah, because I think Lupo has the most Anthem experience in the room here.
I mean, like, hours-wise, I think we're all pretty close. But, I mean, like, not sleeping for Anthem for a few months? Yeah, like, that's me.
That's you.
With Anthem, like, I think from the get-go we were looking for that, like, real endgame experience, a real reason to push ourselves to play the content more, to get new gear, test new builds, do different things. And this is it, you know, and I can understand the community frustration with saying, hey, we don't have this, you know, you guys promised in May, and, you know, it's now June and July and almost August, you know, and we don't have it. But I'm glad that they did, because if we got, you know, a really stripped down version of this, I don't think it would have been taken with the kind of reception that it is right now. That said, the player base is still not where they want it to be, but it's slowly coming back. You know, we jumped in together on Tuesday
night.
I did the stream on Wednesday, and people automatically coming back. Faces I haven't seen in a while, you know, like, I'm glad you're doing this. You know, Anthem needs the attention that it deserves. I think that it's really good. New people that are excited about new content, you know, and I think that's the most important thing right now, is that, like, we have at least 6 weeks of content. Me always wanting to look ahead kind of says what's beyond this, and I hope they have that in their back pocket and saying, you know what, we've been working on the next thing at the same time. We don't really know, but I that's got to be where they're at right now. Like 6 weeks, like you could make an idea in 6 weeks, but they really need something like polished and good into the next thing.
Yeah.
110% agree.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw, but they kind of had that roadmap a while back with the Cataclysm and then the acts after it. And I saw a post, I think it was on Reddit, where someone had taken a screenshot of their site and was saying, hey, they haven't taken these other things down. They're still here. So they're probably still going to be, hopefully they'll still make these things.
Well, that's the thing, is that they're actually legally obligated to give us Act 2 and Act 3 because they've already advertised it. Okay. So if they would have just gave us, like, up to the Cataclysm, that was it, they could have cut bait right here and, you know, give us nothing. But because Act 2 and Act 3 were already shown on their website, advertised to the community, they have to deliver something. Yeah.
Well, the screenshot that I saw, it was actually updated as well. So the current Cataclysm image was updated. There was more graphics. Vera, is that her name? Mm-hmm. I think she was on the graphic. So there was a little bit more. That was definitely updated. But yeah, we were talking about we got new loot as well, and I had something that I wanted to kind of bring up with you guys. So this week being the first week, there's only a set amount of arenas and obviously limited stuff in the store for the shards and everything. We got the war chests, and we've only got the melee war chests, and it seems like they're maybe going to do like a rolling release, kind of like in a Destiny-esque way, where they're only releasing certain new items each week, like not just cosmetic-wise, but also the gear-wise. And I wanted to see how you guys felt about that.
Well, I mean, I think it's something that they're trying to prolong gameplay. Bring you back the next week, if that's exactly what they do. I know that we saw in the challenges that some of the weapons could be unlocked, but we didn't see anything above epic.
And I did actually complete that challenge, and it was not the weapons, it was just the consumable. No, it wasn't even those. It was the consumables that you can activate the 3 consumables before a mission. It was just the buffs for those specific archetypes. That's all it was. Okay. I was like getting all excited, and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can craft one of these guns, even if it's a blue or a purple. I'll still craft it to try it out.
So that changes things then, because if they're not going to make it to where you can attain it from a challenge, and it truly is a rolling release, or it doesn't actually drop from the Cataclysm, and I could be wrong, maybe it has dropped already for somebody.
I haven't
if
seen
not,
anyone get it. I've been checking.
I saw stuff from the PTS, and those weapons look incredible. Like that's they make you want to play this game, because with a lot of what we've seen in Anthem before, like beyond mech combat and stuff like that, you say, what's the identity of this game? And these types of things give the game an identity. How
yes,
when you say I want to use a gun, like a pistol's a pistol, an auto rifle's an auto rifle, but when you have this Voltcaster, the Jara's Wrath, it's finally in the game. Like you can go in. Well, I don't think you can get it right now, but you're going to be able to get a Jara's Wrath. Like 2 years ago, we were sitting here looking at that gameplay trailer, 7 minutes that we pined over for a year. You can finally have the Jara's Wrath. So we're excited to get these things into the game and see what they're all about, and watch Anthem develop its own identity.
So my question becomes this, and it's partially why I prefer Destiny a little bit more than Anthem, because Anthem is, everyone, or at least Mule keeps saying, is that it's based around the abilities, not just the weaponry. And what's in a game based around abilities versus weaponry? Why are fans and BioWare putting so much weight and emphasis on getting new weapons out? I mean, I know that there's mods and components to those weapons that help your build and such, but why not just release new abilities or new components or some such that
they are, but they're also releasing new weapons on top.
And I think that adds to the game, because it's something that the game was actually missing, was that kind of weapon that would say, like whenever we first got it, the oh my goodness, the hand cannon, it's slipping my mind right now.
Avenging Herald?
Yes, that was a great weapon.
Avenging
and
Herald,
then Thunderbolt of Yuvenia was a really good weapon, and they're still really good weapons.
Oh, yeah.
But what's that one weapon that gives you that exotic type feeling that says this weapon is awesome, and it feels good, and it's really good to shoot? That weapon's not in Anthem, I feel like.
Not yet.
But not yet. At least
maybe with one of these.
But to answer your question, Dirty, I think they had to do it to bring some people back that maybe wanted some more gunplay and a little bit of this, so maybe trying to find a balance of the two. I think it is. I think it is. Anthem is ability driven 100%.
And also to add on top of that, these guns, from what I've seen, they feel like abilities. They don't feel like guns. They feel like modified abilities almost. So like one of them is you launch. It's kind of like a buzzsaw blade launcher. One of them is basically like, it's kind of like a trace rifle from Destiny, but boy does it look cool. One of them's kind of got like a chain lightning effect on it. They're definitely, they're not just these kinetic, they're not just bullet guns. They're all of them, from what I've seen, except for the buzzsaw launcher, they're all designed around the seal technology, which the Storm uses for their abilities. So these weapons are definitely going to be a little bit more like that. And then on top, we also have new abilities.
Okay. I mean, I've enjoyed
which
it.
Which are, they're modified.
Honestly, Cataclysm has brought it back for me at least a little bit, because when I got the game, by the time that I was comparable to anyone else, everyone else was already like level 30 running Grandmaster 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm just like,
a little pleb.
So, and then I had a buddy from work who wasn't antheming correctly. He wasn't intercepting properly. It was like, no, stop doing that.
I was going to say, was he running on the ground as a Storm?
There were times that he was. I'm like, I would catch him doing it. I'm like, bro, get your ass in the air. You're not an interceptor right now. You're not the Colossus.
Now there is,
get in the air and hover.
Yeah. Yeah, there is actually a new melee for the Storm, which is one of the Masterwork Legendary ones, where when you melee something, you get 40% shields.
I finally got it after getting every other freaking melee.
Nice. Yeah, and if you hit multiple targets, it's gonna proc multiple times. So you can go from 0 shields to full shields in one melee if you hit multiple guys.
So I was actually reading earlier today that that AJ, the community manager, reached out to some other people on Twitter because that was a comment that people were making, that when you opened your war chest, you didn't always get the ones for your own javelin, whichever one you had equipped last or whatever like that. Because technically, you're not even in your javelin at that point. You're in your pilot.
True.
You're walking around, you know. So, if you complete the challenges for the said javelin, that will guarantee a masterwork version of some sort of melee every single day. So that resets every day. Guaranteed masterwork with a chance of a legendary every single day.
Okay, so what you're saying is like, there's a daily reset on the war chest.
No. It's not the war chest. It's a challenge that will net you a war chest melee.
Yeah. I actually did. I did complete
the first day we did
yesterday,
that, yeah.
and I was confused.
So every day that resets too, and that's a guaranteed masterwork with a chance for legendary. But that's for that because there's 4 separate challenges for that. 4 separate.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I guess I just got really lucky on my war chest, and on the very first one I opened, I got the storm one.
I didn't.
Same.
No, you didn't.
Same. I had the freaking interceptor, then the Colossus, and then after we got the challenge finished, I'm like, oh, I got the melee. Cool, let's go buy a war chest. Oh, I got the melee again. Son of a bitch.
Now, so luckily there is that, and really those war chests are pretty cheap. Yeah. So it's not the biggest.
Especially
deal.
when you get at least
you do one run
major crystal after every run, so it's really not that big a deal.
But it'll be interesting to see what they do next week. Whether they bring the one thing into it, or if they have the old stuff and bring more stuff. Like, I don't know.
So here's my question, and I kind of thought about this as you were talking earlier, Lupo, about content after the Cataclysm. At what point does this become a Destiny 1 situation where content was not there? It was and
House of Wolves,
and obviously we've already felt the content drought. That's real. We know it's there. But at what point do they wait that long to do it again? Because I feel like if they do, any traction that they gained, they're going to lose it. They're going to have something ready, and I would hate to see it be a Destiny 1 situation.
I can't remember. Is the Cataclysm, once the 6 weeks is over, is that arena going to be a permanent thing? Or does it go away?
They haven't really specified that, but I think it's going to be there. Maybe it's not going to offer the same rewards.
Yeah.
So I mean, we really have to. I guess we have to wait it out 6 weeks and see what happens. Like, that's frustrating in and of itself. But
that's a big piece of content if they decide to take it away.
Yeah.
They would need to replace it with something. God damn it! They need to replace it with something if they do take it away that's maybe not as lucrative, but still provides that sense of accomplishment. If that makes any sense, because
make it
the main reason I haven't been playing Anthem before Cataclysm is like I just didn't care.
Make it a stronghold.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
Or use the area for a stronghold. Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to keep it in there, but still, the content drought is what worries me.
I was just about to say that too. I was looking at the calendar and saying like, okay, so the Cataclysm launched on August 6th. And 6 weeks is like right at the Borderlands launch. So it's like right there. If they try to do anything like immediately thereafter, they'd really be shooting themselves in the foot, because you're competing against one of your 2 biggest competitors.
If not the biggest. Let's not be kidding ourselves.
Right.
I get it. So if they're trying to parlay that into the little bit of downtime, say, hey, look, like we finished up this event. Now you're gonna go do this. You have Borderlands coming on the 13th of September. You have Destiny Shadowkeep coming on the 1st of October. If they say like maybe the 15th of October, somewhere in that ballpark area there, then they're ready for their next set of content. Then they would have another 4 weeks or so to develop content for that. I would assume that they're doing whatever it is they are right now, creating the next set, and then would be going into the next set at that point. So you figure 6 weeks, that's 10 weeks of that's substantial amount of time to pull something together. So hopefully they're not I have to do more digging, because usually like they saw a bunch of communication with voice actors and stuff like that. That's when things start happening. But for the Cataclysm as a whole, I think it's a very engaging piece of content. The boss fight was very good. I don't think it was like too overly mechanic heavy, and that's like a lot of comments that I got yesterday is about the boss fight was just enough mechanics to make it challenging, but not too mechanic heavy and not spongy either. Like I feel like it was like the perfect balance of what you want in a boss fight in a game like this. Once we figured out the mechanics of doing it, we were able to do it pretty quickly, and then killing the boss was a lot of fun, like going in there, doing that fight, timing everything correctly and maxing out your score is like, that's what you want out of this game, and hopefully they can reciprocate that further.
I was watching a streamer today and just kind of picked this up, but that I didn't even realize that there are cutscenes that we still haven't even seen for this Cataclysm. So there's still more content that's going to be coming out. Not just that they're going to be opening up more arenas, but there's more to the story, supposedly. So maybe at the end of this, we'll have a kind of.
So maybe it's like a Black Armory thing where there was like additional things. I know I'm making the Destiny connection, but it's
because there's a clip in the trailer from from when they launched it that you see. It looks like Vera, and she has her spear, and then there's a freelancer Storm that kicks her spear away from her. There's dialogue there, and it makes it look like Vera's talking, but it's Vera's voice, but actually in the cutscene it's supposed to be the freelancer is supposed to be talking. So they used and if I remember correctly, the audio is from stuff we've already seen, or when she's talking to us in the Cataclysm, but the cutscene is completely different.
Interesting.
Things to keep your eyes open.
Because I mean, what if that whole situation, tinfoil hat on here, is pretty much them going back in time, quote unquote, and stopping the Cataclysm from happening before it even happens. So like we got a Flash situation on our hands here.
I don't think they would do that, for one, because kind of the original appeal of the Cataclysms with Anthem was it was going to change the landscape forever. So in my mind, I want this thing to happen. I want this thing to fully change an area of the map. I want it to add a new landmass, maybe. Because, like, when I was originally thinking about it, like, so this is how they're going to maybe expand the world. Is these Cataclysms are going to create new landscapes for us.
That's a really good thought.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe this will become part of the free roam area after
that would be interesting.
The 6 weeks.
Because then you go back and see the Gravit King for all its glory.
Kill it.
You don't know, Dirty. You are the Gravit King.
It's not true. It's impossible.
Yes. But yeah. So, yay, nay on Cataclysm so far?
So far, yay.
I'll echo everything. It's a big yay for me right now.
I mean, I want to jump into it right now. I might have to after the podcast.
I have to
do a couple runs.
Idea hurt all fucking day. Surprised we're not Cataclysm right now.
Our next topic: Destiny
2
Solstice
of Heroes.
So when did it launch? Last week?
Yeah.
Last week? Yes. So last week, Solstice of Heroes. Yes, Solstice of Heroes launched for Destiny 2, and boy, did it look like it was gonna be a grind at first.
Look like
it is.
I mean, they made some modifications. They fixed
as we mentioned earlier,
and some people found some cheeses.
But I mean, still, even in its state before the communication went out today, I don't feel it was like that bad, because I remember it taking two almost 3 weeks to get your full armor set last year. I was completely done with my first set non-masterwork by Sunday night, Sunday afternoon,
and I finished it.
I was done by Friday,
grinding my butt off.
Yeah, I had all but 2 pieces masterworked by Friday, so it's not that bad. I mean, granted, it's me. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it and finish it.
Coming from a filthy casual such as myself, the grind is a bit much. Plus, having to get forced into stuff that I don't want to do all the time.
So, aside from the boss kills, Dirty, what to you is the hard thing to get by? Because the boss kills are going to change.
I even I don't know if they still fixed it, if they fixed it on every piece of armor, but I know that there was like 100 orbs or 100 something in the green armor, and it's like, this is only green armor. What's it going to be up to? Like,
I mean, you can finish some of those in one run if you're doing it right.
Again, at the same time, I think it's more
just
about
set your load
bored with Destiny. Like the Solstice doesn't seem it doesn't really like appeal to me all that much. Like it's fancy new. It's the same gear from last year. It's got fancy glow on it, cool beans, but I don't know. It's just.
But the glow moves. It's animated.
I guess. I mean.
You can floof through the air like a magical beam.
I just realized I'm surrounded by a bunch of filthy warlocks.
It's true.
I'm outnumbered. Wait, I need you.
No. Need an adult. We are adults.
But I think, Dirty brings up a fantastic point here. Solstice isn't going to be for everybody. Even though, that grind for the armor, even though they tried to make it, I think Lupo nailed it right on the head that it's less than what it was last year. It's not everyone's going to complete it, and that's okay. Like Destiny doesn't have to say we're going to appease the people that are only be able to play 1 or 2 hours a week.
Right, and that's the biggest thing is I don't have as much time as Scarecrow or you might have, or even Lupo has to sink into this stuff, but.
Yeah.
That, and it's like, when Shadowkeep launches, there's going to be plenty of new armor to be had.
Oh, no doubt.
So,
and like technically this stuff's not going to be usable. Like this exact stuff is not going to be usable.
But we're
going to get new stuff that's like it.
Yes.
And
I think that's what's like the most advantageous about it is that if you get your stuff to legendary status, you get your 2.0 set come Shadowkeep. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. It's the reason why I want to do my other characters so that they're ready with 2.0 sets, ready to go. But to play devil's advocate with what Dirty's saying, because I don't disagree with you, Dirty. I put a lot of time because this is the one game that I want to play. I've called it my part-time job for the last 4 years, and that's legitimately what it is. But if you take a look at the time investment it's going to take to do it, it's about 20 hours. So I know that I'm going to put my 20 hours in every week. But if you're playing part-time, if you're playing a little bit here and there, 20 hours is exactly what you would need over the course of 3 weeks to do one set. So if you're a player like yourself and you're going to go in for a couple hours every week, it does make it attainable though. So I understand that it's like a tough grind and it's a lot of stuff to do, but I don't think it's unmanageable within the entire event.
No, I would agree with that. It's not unattainable by any means, but it's your part-time job. I'm the temp, so
the intern.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that would be a heck of a sitcom. Destiny, the intern. Zavala's intern.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Now, all this armor might be good and all, but we forgot to mention the creme de la creme of the Solstice, and that is the Micro Machine.
No, the Micro. I think they're constantly looking for new ways to just do fun things, and I think in a game like this you have to. You can't take yourself too seriously because a lot of other games do that, and then you're just like, this is kind of boring. I feel Division does that. Division wants everything to be overly serious. They've gotten better in Division 2, but I feel like Division 1 was very drab. Everything. A lot about the game was drab. Division 2 was there's sunlight all the time. The scenery is much more brighter. The emotes, the skin packages and stuff like that were much more vibrant and alive. Not actually alive, but it had personality. And I think
gray snowsuit.
Exactly. Yes. And I think Destiny has been nailing this for a long time, and they're going to continue doing that. And the Micro Machine was just their testament to continuing this moving forward. The Micro Machine, there's beach balls, there's ghosts with sunglasses. That's all fantastic stuff. I love it. It costs money. It costs money, which is frustrating to some people, and I get that. But Destiny is an independently funded game now.
Plus, that's
why
there's still a chance you can pull that stuff out of an engram too.
Well, not this engram. Not this engram.
No,
Maybe later.
Not those ones.
Maybe later.
But those things do weekly rotate in the
dust packages.
The dust packages. So like this last week, the Micro Machine was in the dust, so we didn't have to buy that one. There was actually a couple of good things in there right off the bat.
Yeah, they didn't have
which
to
I was kind of
for.
surprised. I was actually expecting them to be in for the silver, but no, they're like, okay.
But when I saw the Micro Machine for Bright Dust, I was like, sold.
Yeah.
Give me 2 of them.
And I have to say, I mean, running the raid with the Scourge of the Past with those Micro Machines, like that was by far the funnest experience. And having those like small things that are insignificant in the grand scheme of things, like it doesn't affect gameplay, it doesn't affect your level, it doesn't affect anything, but it makes the game fun. That is what drives Destiny, and that is what makes it fun.
Yep.
And being able to play it to a song, I can't even remember the name of the song right now, but just listening to that as we're just riding these little Micro Machines being chased by a giant flaming ball of death is fantastic.
I just want to hear the Dukes of Hazzard horn every time I go off a jump in that thing. That's all I hear in my head.
I think Solstice has nailed it, though. And, you know, a great thing, we didn't talk about this earlier, but Cross Save is coming August 21st. Steam is coming August 20th. Come on, PC. I am so pumped.
You know, and I think we'll close out the Destiny conversation by saying, like, what's your biggest gripes or praises? And for me personally, like, my biggest gripe is going to come afterwards if they don't do anything with the EAZ. Because I think that you have, like, you know, this additional engaging content that people, like, some people enjoy it. It's actually fun to, like, challenge yourself to see how many bosses you can kill and do, you know, more and more waves like that. So if they don't utilize that more beyond the content, it's like, I think you could have done something more with that. And that would be, I think that would be my gripe. But, like, I don't think the concerns with how much time investment are invalid, because I do think it's a decent amount of time for the average person. But as a whole, I think the event has just been very, very good so far.
Would you be okay with them using the EAZ in something like how they did the horror forest?
Oh, yeah.
For the Halloween event.
See, like,
because if you think about it, the Halloween event
thing.
is going to be only a few weeks after the new expansion launches.
I don't want to do that in the dark, though.
Dude,
I don't want to do that
in the dark.
I'm with that stuff. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, but the EAZ's got like floating platforms and stuff like that, and you got to find stuff inside houses, and like that makes a whole mess of things. Like in the Infinite Forest or the Haunted Forest, your light reflects off everything. It's not going to do that in this.
Yeah, they'll have jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. They'll have
that would be fun though.
It's okay.
But if they use it for that, I'd be okay with that. I think that's Bungie has done very well over the last year, reusing assets without being tacky. So I think they can do that moving forward.
I think that, I mean, someone else brought it up on Twitter, make it a Gambit map or make it a PvP map or something of that nature to kind of draw a piece of that section in. I don't know how the PvP map would work, but
it's too
that's
big
a
for PvP.
really intense
No.
PvP.
I heard a better thing. Someone said, make it an arena for prop hunt.
Hey,
your ghost turns you into something.
Light manipulation, let's do it.
So dog gripes.
I would say for me, I think it kind of echoes off you. What are they going to do with the EAZ? What is it going to be looking like going forward? How are they going to use it? I think it's going to be used as an exotic quest. I think we're going to get one more before Shadowkeep is coming. They're just not going to tell us what it is. I'm hoping for Galahorn. I know that's not something that's popular out there. I'm hoping for it. It's probably going to be Dragon's Breath, but it's more likely. But I think Solstice is good. I think they did a good job with it. I thought the grind was better than last year. The 100 boss kills was my only complaint.
Yeah.
But they're fixing it, so GG Bungie, nailed it on the head. Dirty, what do you think?
I'm impartial, I think is the best way to put it, because I mean I'm not against it by any means, but again, I mean, I kind of feel the urge to go play it right now, truth be told, and I'm kind of mentally deciding whether or not I want to play Anthem or Destiny after this, so I'm not totally sure. But well, I mean, as the intern of the Solstice intern, I'll get what I can get. I'll go with that. And I don't have any real gripes. I don't really have any like overly zealous praises or anything like that. Where it's just like I'm just kind of dead middle. Scarecrow.
The biggest thing for me is now I have to finish getting my other characters all the way through the story stuff. I think I finally got my Hunter through, but my Titan's still not even through Forsaken.
Wow.
Best get on that, boy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Destiny's been so good at releasing stuff lately, I've only needed to play one character and grind out one character, even though, like, as much as I play even, like, there's still enough content and stuff for me to do or help people out that I can just hang out on my Warlock.
Yeah, so, I think that since Forsaken, I haven't felt compelled to do my other characters at all.
No. I mean, I did my other characters in the other things and played them a little bit, but as soon as Forsaken dropped, they just fell by the wayside. And I only got through the Hunter because we did that charity stream.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I think, yeah, that's my biggest gripe. And then, prior to this week at Bungie, my biggest gripe would have been the 100 bosses. But the way that they're fixing that, that's completely negating that problem.
Yeah.
So...
because it's not forcing people to manipulate the system to...
Exactly. You're not waiting around to try and get that one instance or that one activity to spawn. So, yeah. Other than that, I'm pretty good with it. So, versus. So, I didn't have time to set up my own game this week. I didn't really have someone. We would have done Lupo, but I kind of wanted him to at least participate if we had him for it. So, this week we went back to old-fashioned. We just went straight up versus.
Bring it.
So, I had 3 originally, but then I was like, we're just going to stick with these 2. So, our first one, kind of on topic, kind of with the previous podcast and this week's podcast. We got Iron Man and his arsenal of suits versus the Anthem javelins.
In all honesty, I'd have to give it to Iron Man just because of the fact that he has more money. And that's it. Also, he has... It's just also like now / future times, whereas to freelancers and javelins are in a much more limited space of materials and technology available to them, and I feel like stuff that they jerry rig is prone to break and have catastrophic side effects.
I don't know, because I just don't trust Tony Stark in that sense. Like, he's a bit shifty and crafty, so it could look like, I got this on the outside, but the second you go to take it on, it's got other things, maybe a buzzsaw comes out the back and shoots and cuts your arms off, and then you're completely immobile. So I from an emotional standpoint, I say the javelins, because I'm not a devout Marvel fan or anything like that. But if I'm gonna take one in a fight, it's probably gonna be Iron Man and the arsenal of Iron Man suits.
So through that entire conversation, I had 2 quotes come into my mind. One, hopefully you'll understand, is when you feel like you got this, and I was like, hey, I got this. And I so did not have
Cade
this.
6. Rest in peace, my friend.
There you go. And the second one might be a little bit more obscure, and there's a little bit of language in it, so I don't apologize. Why wasn't it on some spring-loaded contraption that shoots out your ass? It's the first place Loveless would have looked.
I don't know that one.
Nobody? Ah, Wild Wild West.
Nope.
With Will Smith and...
That's why.
What's his face? I can't remember his name. It's a good movie.
I think everyone who has watched that movie, other than you, Dirty, has completely put
Dude,
it
I
out
love
of
that
mind.
movie. It was a good movie.
Either way,
No, it wasn't.
My vote.
Fantastic.
I think that it's a tough decision because you don't really know how a Javelin's ultimate might actually work against Tony Stark. Because I feel like a Storm ultimate might kill him. Just think about that for a second. A giant ice block coming down on top of him, then struck by lightning. That's pretty terrifying.
He's survived otherworldly forces and those things before, too.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
So,
And his newer suits with the nanotech.
You're not wrong there. I'm gonna go with my Interceptor. I'm gonna go with the interceptor,
Your
Your little
interceptor.
fairy.
and we're gonna be too fast for Mr. Tony Stark and his arsenal of things. Since we can't die in our ultimate, we're just gonna run a lot of ultimate mods, and we're just never gonna die.
That's a fair point.
I can't decide, but I think overall Iron Man would win in the end. He just has such a huge arsenal at his disposal. I mean, like Lupo was saying, he's very crafty. I could see. I mean, Hulkbuster was designed to contain the Hulk, and the Hulk is way more powerful than a Colossus Titan or Colossus Javelin, but javelins are meant to withstand Titans.
So what's the ratio of Titan
it's-
to Hulk?
Ugh. Exactly. Well, I think the Hulk's gonna win. I think freaking Hulk could just jump right through a
Probably.
Titan.
And come out stronger on the other side.
Or angrier. And that's
Probably.
So
Then
I
you got
think
Fire
I think
Hulk.
it's 2-2. I think that one's a tie. I think we had 2 javelins there and 2 Iron Men.
So our next verse is, I don't know where I saw this. Like, I just saw a thing on Twitter of one of the characters, so I was thinking, you know what? Grumpy Cat versus Garfield, and who hates Mondays more? That was the thought that was going through my head.
On Thursday.
On Thursday.
He just really wasn't looking
He's
forward to
really
Monday.
thinking about Monday.
Ugh.
I'll start with this one, and I say that if you can live your entire life on nothing but lasagna, you are
And be
god,
that fit, really? I mean,
yeah,
he's-
you're a
he's
god in
chubby
cat, form.
but-
So I'd say Garfield wins that one any day of the week.
I mean, as we mentioned it before we started recording, Grumpy Cat dead.
Rest
The
in
creator
peace.
of Garfield,
He
I
did
believe, is dead. But Garfield, in theory, is not dead, which, in all honesty, is the longest living cat in the history of cats. So, plus, I grew up with Garfield, and Grumpy Cat, I've never been, so ingrained in meme culture that I'm going to praise a cat that has, permanent resting bitch face.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you because the meme is real, and the
The meme will
Grumpy Cat
never
meme,
die.
rest in peace, my friend, is real, and that cat. And I loved reading the Garfield comics on Sundays. My grandma would bring them to me, that was my thing, and I loved it. But some of those memes on the Grumpy Cat are too funny, and Garfield can't match that quite funniness for me. So, although Garfield can live forever and never die of a heart attack or diabetes or anything like that, depending on whatever he eats, but Grumpy Cat lives on, I feel like, even though he's dead. Grumpy Cat takes the victory.
I'm gonna have to go with you on that one. I think Grumpy Cat wins this one.
Oh, we're
I
split
mean, I
again.
think I even saw one of those Grumpy Cat memes about him and Chuck Norris, and I think Grumpy Cat took it on
That's
that.
right.
one.
Come on, Grumpy Cat. We're tied again, so I guess we are split decision.
So do we want to do my third one that I kind of had? 30 bombs might not get it as much,
I saw it
but
earlier,
we got
and
the
I
three
don't
of us.
remember who the second
It's the
one
first
was.
time that we've had enough people on that know these characters.
Don't do this to me.
Uh-oh.
Don't do this to me.
Oh, and this is gonna really hurt Dog. I know that much.
Well, in that case, fire away.
So we're gonna do it. We're doing it. All right. So this is an anime one that I had, and it is All Might versus Goku. Now I'm gonna say it's not some
Oh,
Super
come on.
Saiyan Goku.
You gotta-
It's
you gotta
just-
have-
It's his top. It's his top fighting form. You can't have Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Why
that's
not?
just no.
Why can't
Not
you?
even Red Monkey Goku.
Why can't you have Ultra Instinct Goku? Come on. If you're going to
Oh,
All
yeah.
Might,
All Might or Small Might?
full
All Might
and
full
in his
form,
prime.
pre-injury.
Bloody fuck is all?
And then I can-
Oh, that's who it is.
I can only go on emotion and say All Might. Because he's a symbol of peace.
Exactly. And if someone can basically fly without the ability to fly, that's pretty strong. So I'm gonna.
He
have
can
to go
change
All
the
Might.
weather with his
Okay,
fist.
so you two are going with this All
Literally.
Might guy. James,
Mhm.
what are you going with?
No, we're split again.
Because you put me in a
can't be
terrible
split.
spot. You put me in a versus against someone I don't watch the anime for. I only know Goku, so I'm gonna go with Goku because that's who I know. I don't watch My Hero
stupid. He's so
Academia.
stupid.
I don't know who All Might is. I don't know what he can do.
Oh, he's strong, man. He's extremely strong. All the things that they've said are extremely true about All Might. He is a symbol of peace, can change the weather,
That's
and all
fine.
the things. All Might is fantastic.
I
But
mean, that's fine, but
but
I mean, I'm familiar
it's
with
freaking
Goku.
Goku.
So,
You know how many times that dude's cheated death?
like,
Goku's like the Chuck
Billions.
Norris of anime. He really is, though.
and he can pack away rice like no other.
It's true.
Can All
I
Might
don't
do
know-
that?
I don't know All Might's
Probably.
stomach.
Have you seen All Might's
All Might,
physique?
All,
Well,
All Might
that's
doesn't
true.
have a stomach anymore.
That's
not
true.
anymore.
Does he have like offspring of also amazingly epically powerful children and like grandchildren and great grandchildren, whatever?
No,
his
but he
lineage is at
can
this point?
he can pass on his power to anyone he
Well, it's
wants.
just-
It makes for a great show, but
But only once.
But either way, I'm taking Goku, and here's how we're going to break the tie. Those of you that are listening to the recording of this podcast, sound off on our social medias and tell us who you think should win the three, or sound off in Discord, and we'll decide it that way. Sound good, guys? Because I think that's the best way to do it. Yep,
Results
we'll
next
send
week.
it out there, and we'll put it out on the Twitterverse as well, because I feel like Goku is going to win that, even though I know there are a lot of our friends that are watching My Hero right now and loving it, and I love My Hero as well. That's why it hurts me so bad.
Dog has just felt all sorts of emotions just in these three questions, man.
He's laughed. He's cried. He's hugged himself.
And I'm sleep deprived, so all that on top of that, you might as well call me emotional. But yeah,
So I think that's where we're going to wrap up episode 72
Indeed.
of the Analog Assault podcast. If you like this content, you can consider being a supporter. Head on over to patreon.com/Mulehorn Gaming to get all the details. Make a shout out to our platinum level supporters, The Rayman and
Remember,
Anger. Thank
when
you.
in doubt,
blow it up.
oh, sorry, I have to wait 5 minutes and 15 days at a time. Then Spirit Bomb.